Shiner, Cliff Rebecca.
Okay, nothing has come in. There's nothing new. Any discussions from our workshop meeting at all? Any questions come up? Printing on the farm stand here.
Can I, are we gonna go on to that?
Yeah, we're going to that next. I just want to make sure there's no questions concerning the workshop meeting. Okay, so, Cam is here for the farm stand. So,
Okay, so we got a letter from the DOT saying that it was okay, but because of the significant change, I looked at that new one. Yep, and I looked at the old one, pulled that up, and we went over from the top down to the bottom line. So I think they should have another public hearing so that people, when they see it there, are not going to be screaming and howling. This is the original. I'm sorry. Have we had a public hearing?
No, we haven't had a public hearing.
Oh, no?
Not for this, no.
Okay, I thought we did, I'm sorry. Okay, and that's it. I did have a question though.
Did you get the new letter from the DOT after we changed it?
No,
You just have to, it's in the folder.
okay, you showed it to us at the workshop.
No, there's a new one, there's another one recently.
Oh,
Yeah, they're there.
Yeah.
Saying that the revised edition is okay.
Yeah, that's okay, I got it right.
Yeah, that's the most
We have it.
recent one.
Yeah.
That's March 19th.
Make sure that makes it back in the folder, that's the only copy I have right now.
Did you see this, John?
No, I don't think so.
Here's the other one. Okay. So I do have some questions though on it. I went and looked at it today closely, and are they gonna excavate this out for the farm stand?
Yes.
That's pretty steep there, very steep.
Yeah, there's the contours.
Right?
It's, doesn't start getting steep until about here. Okay, so they'll have to excavate 4 feet.
And then on this side, it drops off.
Right. Right here is the hole, and it's pretty steep right up to this point here.
No, I'm sorry.
I took some pictures.
When you say hole, is that where the water drains?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is looking down. John, you want to come over and see these pictures? Or are you interested?
I didn't bring mine.
Okay. Well, the plant's right here. So this is looking towards Phoenicia. This is the line, and then this is the railroad that goes around, and the property is over in here. Okay. And then this is looking back. So this is where they're going to excavate out in here, John, Don?
Yes. Now you're looking at it this way.
Right, we're looking this way. This is the approach. And then this is where the parking area is gonna be, and that really drops off pretty steeply. This is the driveway going out. This is this,
Right, see, this is very steep here.
right?
So this is on the left side of the driveway going up, right?
Yes. Yes.
That's why these contours are closer together right here. About 10 feet.
Yeah,
Drop.
yeah, it drops off
From up here down to here. The contour is 690 and this is 680 in the hole.
What do you think about this will be flattened out?
He's gonna have to excavate about 2 or 4 feet of soil right in this area right here.
Is it 2 foot?
Yeah.
That's this area. This, I'm sorry, this is looking from Kingston toward, yeah, so this is looking this way. And that's the driveway right there. So that's this, John. Can you see that that, John? I'm sorry.
Oh, I can picture it.
No. Okay, so at least we got a good idea of what's going on.
And the drainage comes right down into that pit, right down through here. And over here it drains down to this ditch here where there's a catch basin. Not much comes down through here. It's mostly right here. So it's here and here. And this actually drains this way into the pit. I thought it was a catch basin.
Yeah, I was a little confused when I looked today, because I said to myself, gosh, that's an awful lot of fill in has to go in there. And I looked over here and I said, well, if he cuts and fills, he might have some, but he didn't have enough to fill in, because these go up pretty far.
This is a 40 feet to the inch, and so it's quite a ways back from the edge of pavement. So the hole is within the stake, but it's still, the top of it's up here. So he's gonna have to fill in here to make those parking places right here.
Now, where does he go? Down east?
Down here.
Oh, it's great. Then who owns this?
Stake.
Oh, it goes with the street? The road?
Yeah.
Oh.
And then there's another driveway over here that goes out, John.
Cliff wanted to know the distance to 212. It's 177.5 from the center line of the driveway to the center line of the first portion of 212. That you hit going this way. So that's right there. New York State wanted a notation also, absolutely no signs within the right-of-way. It's here, and I've got, you wanted the information, the signs. It was one sign on the east side of the structure and one sign on the west side of the structure, each to be 12 square feet, no bigger than 12 square feet.
Okay, they're gonna be mounted onto the building?
Yes. The side and the side.
Does it, can you have two signs? Does it say in the zoning ordinance, two signs, or only one sign? I'm not sure, let's see.
One from both directions if they're going to be on the building.
See if they can find signage.
Is that considered a sign?
Ken, is there anything you wanted to say to the board or ask the board concerning this?
For me, after there's somebody coming, and I actually, would like, the board, go, make it this month, so I'm able, to get, for the summer, and according, I actually do everything according to the law, and I get approval, from the UT. So I'm just asking, for the alternative, so I can go move forward, because, there's so many coming, and, I like to start it as soon as possible. That's all. Thank you.
Yeah, the problem we've got is, I of course cannot vote on it.
Yeah.
And so without my vote, we don't even have a quorum. So we can't, I don't believe we can set a public hearing without a quorum.
Yeah, we can't take any official action without a quorum.
But you have a quorum. You have four.
Yeah, but
Dawn has
I
to
can't vote
abstain. Yes.
on this particular.
Can you call a special meeting so that you could set the public hearing for next
What
month
if we
without?
could get Joanne or Cliff on the phone to do just the vote? Could we talk with them? So they have to see everything
just so that we can set.
Well, rather than calling everyone, it's much easier if we just pick a date and let everyone know what it is, because when you try to call all
So
these
we
people
can't
and get
do
everyone on the same
business
page,
without
it's
a quorum.
difficult.
Can't do that.
Well, if you're gonna do a special meeting,
Can we call a certain meeting?
yeah, I don't think that you need, I mean,
What type
a
of
lot of the time,
notification do we have to have?
we did on the zoning board, we scheduled a special meeting because there were no meetings and we needed to get an application in front of them, and they had kept canceling. So we set a special meeting with just myself and one board member, scheduled it and let everyone else know, and all came. So I don't think that you need to take votes on scheduling a special meeting.
No, I was just getting together.
I think that Kathy could authorize that,
I can authorize to
schedule a
set up,
special meeting.
schedule. Are you good with that? I mean,
I mean, we have, next week, the zoning board meets at 7:30, so maybe even do it next Wednesday at 6:30 or 7 o'clock, because it's just gonna be a matter of setting this to public hearing. It's not gonna be more than 5 minutes.
How do you feel about that? A special meeting next Wednesday prior to the zoning board meeting?
And they meet at 7:30, so 7 would be
Purpose for
perfect.
why he would like to see a public, special meeting, because spring's coming and he's got
Right.
orders that he would like.
Right.
Well, it's not his fault that there's not a quorum, and he went through, got the updates that were being asked of him, submitted everything that's required, and now that it's time to vote, there's not enough people here, so I think that
And our
justifies
purpose
the
of
need
a
for
planning board is
a
to try
special meeting.
to help the applicant as best we
Right.
can.
I think it's
within
more
law.
than justified.
I have no problem with that, I just want to be sure that we're legal in doing it. Would you know, Vinnie?
I don't think we're gonna conduct any business, if we're gonna make a motion to have a public meeting, we have to have a quorum to do it.
Well,
I'm
that's
not
the
sure.
thing, I don't think that you have to
So
vote.
we're not looking for a public meeting? I mean, we're
No,
looking
not
for a
a
general
No,
meeting
just a
of the-
special meeting amongst
It's
the
gonna be,
members
well, it's gonna be
to,
public.
no, it's no, it doesn't, it's a special well,
Can we
a special
postpone
meeting
this
for the,
meeting till next week?
a special meeting for the planning board to vote on the application to set it to public hearing.
I don't hear any other voices. What do you think, John?
You could vote on scheduling a meeting aside from,
Not for this.
you're not real.
Is there any other business that you would also do at this public, second meeting?
Unfortunately, we don't have any.
Well, then why don't we schedule the special meeting for Cliff to sign the Gerard and Thumbs maps next Wednesday evening? And at that time, we'll review anything else that's necessary.
Any date, okay.
Well, getting back to the sign. One sign, 24 square feet.
For non-residential uses in Hamlet commercial.
Can I make a
business,
suggestion
Hamlet
with that?
residential.
If you have a quorum, it's going, you vote no.
Excuse me?
Don has to abstain.
If you have a quorum,
Don has to
You vote
abstain
no.
from voting, so he can't vote. So there's not enough. We don't have a quorum. We only have 3 members that can actually vote.
On that issue, but
Right.
on other issues such as having a public meeting.
Well, the special
to-
meeting is with regard to this issue. He couldn't vote on that either.
Right, if there were another reason to have a special
Which is
meeting.
why I said, let's do it for the thong maps.
Right, and I think that the idea of recusal is to prevent an undue influence from a board member, or in this case, the chairman. But the issue of scheduling a meeting to accommodate the applicant when the board hasn't reached a quorum, I think we're stretching to make sure that we don't do something wrong here, but it'd be a shame for the, a very narrow interpretation to keep the applicant from being able to go forward after
if we were to just delay this issue until next month,
at our regular meeting, and then we have to, from that point forward, schedule a public hearing. And how much notice do we
It's
have?
gonna
to
be
give
another 2 months.
Public.
Because we won't be able to do the public hearing until, so if we come back, it's April now, we come back at May's meeting, everybody agrees to set a public hearing, the public hearing will be in June, and then in the June meeting, he'll get the approval or the denial, so you're putting them out another 2 months. 3 months.
You could
Two and a
set
half
your meeting
months.
to be a week later. You could have that your meeting in May.
Well, but the purpose of this is because we don't have a quorum.
Here when they're supposed to be.
You know, it's not the applicant's, whether it be this applicant or any other applicant, it's not their fault.
And this
We don't
is,
have
I
a
mean, in 10 months that I've been here, this is the first time this has happened. So it's not something that happens frequently, you know that.
Art, could you call, in lieu of the circumstances, could you call Clifton or one of the other members and ask him to
I already asked
make
that.
every effort to come down?
Yeah, I had already asked that. Joanne and Cliff both said they're sick and they're not coming.
I understand that. We've talked to Art.
What happened
If
here
you,
was changed from the last time, so I don't know if they're familiar with it.
Right, but to come down and sit because of the circumstances, would they be amenable to that?
The schedule of the meeting doesn't say anything particular about the meeting, just schedule the meeting.
Yeah, do that.
And then whatever shows up.
Doesn't
on
have to
the
be
agenda.
earmarked for anything in particular, we're just conducting a special meeting. That's Wednesday. Right, and if there were other applications that came in the meantime, I mean, there's nothing that keeps us from having a second regular meeting in a month, correct? There's nothing. All right, well, just throw it right out there. I'd like to
If we
request.
decide on next Wednesday, I'd make a motion that we have a.
We can't, you can move it, but it doesn't.
The chairman directs the
I'm just gonna
secretary.
direct her to notify the members that we're gonna schedule a special meeting for next Wednesday at 6:30 prior to the zoning.
Do you want to do it at 6:30 or at 7? ZBA
They
meets
meet
at 7:30.
Are we gonna have enough time to do it then?
I think you'll have plenty of time.
Okay.
If you meet at 7, I think you'll
Okay.
be done before 7:30.
Just make sure the member gets a copy of everything. So make one sign. It has to be one sign, it can be two, say that equal 12 square feet. Single wall sign. For non-residential uses within the Hamlet commercial highway distance, highway residential, R 1.5 R distance is a single wall sign not exceeding 24 square feet in total surface area, except as otherwise stated in this chapter, and it goes on for different uses. Identifying only the name and the establishment of the principal service or purpose.
Do we have a provision for a variance from the sign law?
Sure. Sure. Instead of putting them on. You go for variance on anything, yeah. Instead of putting them on the ends, we just put them on the front. No, as long as it's one sign. I just don't wanna see you put two signs up and have somebody say something and start all over again, and you
Yeah,
see it being a jam.
Yeah. I understand.
Yeah, once you get this going, you don't want to.
No, for me, I'm only looking for, to do business, to support my family. Besides that, I'm not looking for a job or I don't want any job or I just want to do business and take care of my family and, do what's good for us.
What you've done too, you've done a very nice job.
Yeah, thank you, man. I always try, and, that's why I do.
Okay, the only other applicant, of course, we have in front of us is the Crossroads, which had to review during the workshop meeting. We don't have a quorum today. Is there anything you need, Jack?
No, I was just here in case something came up.
Okay.
We're all good right now. Waiting on DEC.
It's a short meeting tonight, unless anyone has any discussion about something.
Does that mean that the whole crossroads can only have one sign?
golf course and
Well,
motel.
there's different uses. This is in an R.15.
Oh, okay.
But if you read the ordinance, if you go 116 and look up signs, it says what's permitted in each district.
Okay. So we can have more than one sign.
And like Kathy said, you can go and get a variance and get, if they'll okay 20 signs, you can put them in,
Oh, yeah.
you know.
Doug, I got some questions from people who called me concerning businesses in town as far as permits being issued. One being the Glass Mountain Inn, which used to be Pauline Slossers.
Right.
Is there any action on that?
We have not had anybody come before us concerning that or the other one. So we need our building inspector and zoning inspector.
Okay. You just said there was advertisement to open on the computer somewhere.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah, I did call them. And they came in to the office and met with me and they took away some applications, so they're in the process of applying.
Also, the storehouse in,
It's on 214 by the school.
But what is it going to be, a bed and breakfast?
It's, not breakfast, just like lodging.
But is it a change of use from what it was prior to?
Well,
Was it
I don't
residential?
think that there was ever a special permit issued. I couldn't find anything. They said that that's the way she had always used it, but I couldn't personally find anything, and they also said that there was a hair salon there. I couldn't find anything on either of those.
I think the advertising of
I have all the advertising was sent to me, so I have everything that was online, everything that was in the newspaper, they advertising on Airbnb and places like that. They said that they have
having music at different times and you know, so I mean,
yeah.
something to be looked at. Physical music, yeah, bands. Oh gosh.
They said nothing too crazy.
It said something about serving food, didn't it?
I didn't see anything about serving food. I don't remember anything about serving food, but
no, these are just inquiries from constituents.
they are in the process of going through. They said that they were told by the realtor that it was all, commercial, and I said, it's up to you to do your homework. The realtor can say what they want, you
But,
need to
you know,
verify all of that information. So they were not aware previously. They are aware now, and they are in the process of doing the application.
okay, what was the other one again?
A storehouse, Venetia on the boardwalk there. They're going to be renting bicycles. It's a camping store. And they rent bicycles. Is that the same criteria as the camping store?
Yeah, they have to apply for special permit. What would that fall under? Probably retail business. Well, they have retail, huh?
Yeah.
Yes, as I
Showing
understand.
hygiene use, they're showing hygiene. But what was it before?
No, I say I think they sell camping and equipment or sporting
Now
goods,
they're
something like
moving
that.
bikes.
But also renting bikes.
Couldn't that all be considered recreational? I mean,
Yeah.
they could fight that that's all recreational.
I might be wrong, but I don't remember anything in the special permit for that either.
I didn't even know there was a camping store over there.
Neither did I.
This is just what relates to me. I haven't gone in and checked it. It was just a,
How long has this store been in existence? As it is, right now?
haven't defined anything.
Couple of months.
What's the name of the store?
That's what.
It was called Storehouse.
And it's on the boardwalk?
Now, then, this new building zoning enforcer, he's part-time, correct?
Yes.
Does he have the time to go out and check these places out?
Well, it was 35 hours a week?
No, he's here about 9 or 10 hours a week, if that. He's here usually Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. He comes in anytime between 3:30 and 4 o'clock, and he's here for an hour or two.
I mean, we'd like to see some of these things checked out and some of the things that we make motions on and pass to make sure it's enforced, but is it gonna be? I mean, we need
Well, these were brought to my attention and asked if I could relay it to the planning board. I'm doing that. If Tracy can relay it to the building inspector,
I'll certainly let them know, absolutely.
if that's what's needed.
And I do have, internal forms that I had made up a while ago that I gave every department, so that if there's an issue like this, you can just fill out where and what, and then, you know, we have something formal in writing. So, if in the future you see anything, please, by all means, come and I'll give you a couple forms.
Tracy, it's not me seeing it. I
It doesn't have to
give
be
me a
you.
call. So they asked me to come to the planning board and address that if there was an issue or there weren't, so that's what I'm doing here.
Okay, well, I have them for the public and internally, so whoever's telling you, if you wanna have them call me, I would be happy
You
to
know how the
take down
public
the.
is sometimes, they just assume, well, somebody who got elected or
In a
somebody.
situation like this, wouldn't it be worth him to
I'm just
take
trying to make
a
it
drive
easier so
through
the information gets there
and
quicker,
check it
that's
out?
all.
The zoning officer, I mean, if we have concerns or if town board members
Let's-
or citizens have
let's
concerns,
have-
isn't that his purpose?
Yeah, that's what I was just saying, I have internal forms and I also have citizens complaint forms, so people will call me directly, I can get this information and we can get it to him immediately,
Let's
it makes
have-
it a lot faster.
Let's have him show up at our meeting.
I have asked
At
him,
least
he's not really rushing us.
Well, maybe if the town board gives him the direct.
Yeah, we would like him to be at least one of our meetings, a workshop and a regular meeting, so it's just once a month for him.
Good.
And then he could answer a lot of questions and
Can I just read this real quick? Under planning board, paragraph 39-7, quorum and voting, section A, a quorum shall consist of a majority of 4 members of the board. In the absence of a quorum, the only action that shall be taken is to call a special meeting at a subsequent date.
Told you. For legal.
All right,
Just
here
like
you
I
go.
knew.
Yeah, I did it with the ZBA once before, so I was confident that that was correct.
I thought that Mike's Bikes was renting bikes
what's it?
and the old cobblestone, I think they rent bikes out. No where you have to get a permit to rent bikes.
That's Graham and Co.
When an applicant comes in,
Well, they're not changing the use, but adding
Tracy.
something.
He's got the floor.
Good.
It's okay. An applicant-
He was talking out loud.
when an applicant comes in and says that they want to open a lodge or a bed and breakfast, and they want to have music, and this starts getting complicated because you can't just say, okay, it's a lodge, because as soon as they say music, it's a cabaret. As soon as they say food, it's a restaurant.
Right.
So you can't just give them an application for one thing. They have to.
What if they say bicycles?
Okay.
No, I'm talking about the one
Well,
before.
firstly, they didn't come in. I was forwarded a complaint and I had to actually